So we've sort of accidentally stumbled upon being a part of a market. But I kind of want to be honest and authentic. It's just basically clear resin mixed with glitter. It's just a little keychain. I think that's really cute. Hello and welcome back to my weekly vlog. I am currently in the office, which is just a corner of the living room. We also have another corner in the living room, which is the studio, which is just a couple of desks and loads of art stuff. I was actually really lucky when I found this place, because when I was looking for a place to move to, I said from the beginning, I'm either going to get a nicely decorated place, but it's going to be tiny, or I'm going to get a really badly decorated place, one that's probably falling apart, but it's going to be bigger. And I got the latter. So this place is quite big, considering what I could afford, but it is falling apart. When I moved in here, there was a lot of like kids drawing on the walls. There was a lot of like holes from things that had been hung up that needed to be filled. And I got on the contract that I could decorate simply because I knew that they wouldn't. Also, I wanted to make it personal, but it's taken a while. As you can see, we have started with the swatches. You saw them in the last video, and we are in the process of redecorating. We're taking a little bit of a break after doing Izzy's room because we did it in such a short amount of time. Well, Tony did most of it. But because we did it in such a short amount of time, we're sort of giving a little bit of a break, and then we'll get on to painting the other rooms in the house and all of that jazz. One of those spaces will be this area here, which is why it is such a mess at the moment and it's not very aesthetic. But I kind of want to be honest and authentic, and like, you know, this is just how it is at the moment. It doesn't look staged, it doesn't look fancy. It just, I just work in here at the moment. It is what it is. But once we do get round to painting the place, I'm going to completely redecorate the walls around this area. I got these really cool corkboard things, and they're just like a sort of rounded rectangle shape, and they just stick on the wall. So I'm going to stick a few of those up instead of having this corkboard here, because this is taking up a lot of space. We're also thinking of using that for something that I'm going to tell you about in a second. So we've sort of accidentally stumbled upon being a part of a market, and specifically a Pride market, because Pride Month is coming up soon. It is currently the middle of May. No, it's coming towards the end of May. We only have a few weeks to prepare for this market. What happened was, we are part of an LGBTQ plus community group thing. One of the people who run it messaged my partner and said that they're holding a Pride market in this market area. I believe it's the first Pride market that they're doing. And basically they said that they're getting discounts if people from the group want a stall there. And I think the only thing we're paying for is getting a sort of like a cover, like a gazebo sort of cover thing. So we've kind of lucked out, really, because we've never done a market before. We both have small businesses, but I want to be like fully transparent on the vlogs that they are very much at the beginning stages of the businesses. So when we found out that this market was going on and we could get a stall for basically nothing, we accepted straight away, because it's a really good deal. Sometimes some markets you'll have to pay what I consider a crazy amount for the table. Probably not a crazy amount for our businesses where they're at now. But because this came up and it was basically for free, we thought, why not? The only thing is that I only have a handful of products. So I've started out the business with illustrating my own stickers. So that's where I've started. I've made a few sales, being completely transparent. I'm not going to sit here and be like, I know what I'm doing, because I don't. I just don't. I've done a lot of research. I've gained a lot of knowledge, but the businesses are still, I guess, what you'd call in their infancy. But my partner does acrylic pours, so acrylic paint pours, and she kind of just every now and then just goes in there and makes like so many. So she's got a lot of pours all ready to go. She's just been, what she's been focusing on at the moment is varnishing them and glazing them. We've been trying to find a good way to do that. First of all, we were using UV resin, but we've just tested out a cheaper varnish and she's happy with those. So yeah, her job at the moment is just to get things varnished and maybe make a few more smaller items. But my job is to come up with multiple new products so that I don't just have a handful of stickers on the stall. We're sharing a stall, so I don't need like a crazy amount to fill up the space, because it will sort of be half and half. But I am basically in the next couple of weeks cracking down and designing new products, coming up with new ideas, coming up with new products and making them, and making enough for a market, which we have no idea how much is enough for a market. So it's all kind of guessing, really. I am doing research as I go. I watch a lot of small businesses on YouTube. At the moment, I'm actually watching Prince by Millie. I do love her vlogs. She does a lot of informative content about small businesses, and she's very open about how her small business runs. There are a few other small businesses that I do follow, and they do markets. So I am doing a bit of research into how markets go, the sort of prices people expect, the sort of items, how many items, all of that I'm doing research on. It's just so helpful that there are small businesses out there that do show this side of the business, because it helps newcomers like me to at least get an idea of what to do. But saying that, I've worked probably for, I know that I said that this business is new. It is new as in like where I'm at and putting the listings up on Etsy and stuff like that, because I've got a store on Etsy. But I have been working behind the scenes on this for a couple of years, I think. I first had the idea, but it's taken a while to get the stuff that I need to get the business going. So I've got stuff like a sticker cutter now, a Silhouette Portrait 4 I've got, and I had a few issues with that because it wasn't cutting straight. And trying to figure out how to get it to cut straight was a nightmare. Technology does not like me. There's been many technology fails throughout me trying to get this business started. One of them being, I started off drawing on sort of like a little pad thing that connects to a laptop. It wasn't great, but you know, you got to use what you got. It was on a Chromebook. And the Chromebook decided that it was going to delete everything on the Chromebook. So I lost everything that I did. And apparently, when I Googled it, that's just what Chromebooks do. I'm not going to talk too much about the Chromebook because I have opinions. But anyways, we then agreed to get an iPad so that I can get Procreate. So I ended up doing that. Got Procreate, got the Apple Pencil and all of that. I had some trouble with the Apple Pencil connecting. And then I started drawing. And then one day, after I've done many drawings, the iPad just went black. And that was it. We tried everything, and then we had to go and take it back and basically get it replaced. Luckily, it was within the time. So we got it replaced, but I did lose all of my drawings. So now when I remember, I religiously save everything I'm doing onto the cloud so that if it does happen again, I'm safe. But ended up doing that, and then obviously the problems with the sticker cutter and all of that stuff. But anyways, we got here in the end. I have a store on Etsy and I have multiple listings on Etsy, and I've been making sales. I want to say every month I make a sale. Sometimes there's like a month where I don't, and then the next month I'll get 2 sales. So it's not like, you know, any of the small businesses that are on YouTube already. It's nothing like that where they do a launch and then they sell out or whatever. It's nowhere close to that. But I'm hoping after this market, once I've come up with a bigger variety of products that aren't just stickers, once the market's finished, I'll put up whatever I didn't sell and then just keep making the stuff that I'd come up with. I'll get more of a variety on my shop, more listings, and hopefully get the ball rolling a bit faster. But this market is going to be a brilliant experience for us because it's low stakes, low risk. It's just kind of us experiencing the market for the first time, learning, and whether we make money or not, it's not an issue because we didn't spend a lot to be at the market, and anything that we spend on the products that we make for the market, we could make it back by putting those products onto Etsy after the market. Don't mind my chin, I just popped a spot. So yeah, I'm gonna get my head down and make some product. I've come up with a few products already and I've started making them. Actually, I'll just show you. So I'm sort of experimenting, but also hoping that they turn out good enough to be final products. So they don't have to scrap any, or I have learned that people do like B grade stuff, or seconds, or oopsies, whatever you call them, where they do ones that haven't turned out quite the way you want them to. You just sell them for a bit cheaper, but you let them know that there are things wrong with them. So it's not the end of the world if they don't turn out perfect. And I'm trying to fight perfectionism. We'll talk about that another time. But these are the ones that I've made. So this is the first experiment, and it's this keychain. Oh, this keychain here. There we go. So it's just a dried leaf and then a frame. And what I've done is you stick like this sticky stuff on the back so that the resin doesn't pour out, and then you put it in there, pour the resin over, UV light it, and this is what we get from it. I think this is quite cute. The thing is, I don't have a lot of dried leaves and dried flowers. I was going to try and dry some myself, and I even picked some daisies because daisies are my favourite. But then I looked up how long it takes to dry them in a book, because I put some in a book, and it's about 3 weeks, and I don't have 3 weeks. No, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use up all the dried flowers and leaves and stuff that I've got. And then if I still want to make more after that, I'll probably have to buy some dried flowers. I know that you can do them dry them in the microwave. But me being me, I feel like that's going to go terribly wrong. There's so many ways that I can mess that up. I'm trying to be more positive and be like, I am capable, I can do things. But some things, when it involves technology and stuff, and I don't know. Anyways, that's the first one that I made. I was thinking, I don't know whether to keep it as a key ring or make it into a necklace, because I've also got necklace chains. But the necklace chain didn't really fit through the hole. But then I could just add another loop. I don't know what people will be more likely to buy, whether it'll be a necklace or a keychain. Probably a keychain. But I suppose each one I'll make, I'll decide what I'm going to do with it. But anyways, so then I also got these molds, and these molds are great. I'll show you the mold. Where's the mold? This sort of thing here. So basically, these are supposed to be for earrings, and I've even got the earring attachment things to go in your ear. But I don't really like the idea of doing earrings. I know that people can make like a really good business out of making earrings and stuff like that. I just worry a bit about selling something or making something and then selling something that's going to go like inside people's ears. But these, as you put the resin in, they've got like that little dot thing there. Basically, as it cures, it'll make a little hole, and then you put the ring in the hole, and then it works as a keychain. I don't think I've explained that very well, but here we go. Yes, and then I decided to experiment with the leaf, the Monstera leaf, because I am a bit obsessed with Monsteras at the moment, because I've got one. Well, I've got 4 in one pot, and I'm trying to make her happy at the moment. It's all a learning curve, but I love them. So I thought I'd try out the resin on that. I've also got some glitter that you can mix in. But anyways, this is the first one I made. Turned into a keychain. And it's got glitter inside. It's just basically clear resin mixed with glitter. But the first one, so this one has less glitter than the second one. But when I pulled this out of the mold, the back of it was still a bit sticky. So it hadn't cured properly, even though I left it curing for under the UV light for a while. It was still a bit sticky. So when it came out, it's got it's really rough now. I think I've got my fingerprints on it. So then I had to put it under the UV light again. So this one, the backs come out a little bit rough. So I'd say either I can't use those or seconds or B grade or whatever you want to call it. And then the second one came out a lot better because I put the UV light. So the first one I put the UV light at the front only, but after a while of the second one, I folded it over and put the UV light through the back, and it seemed to have worked better. So this is the second one. This is the second one. This one's got a lot more glitter in it as well, which I think I like. I like that it's got more glitter in it, but I do have limited glitter at the moment. But I am going to look into getting some more because if I'm making these, I'm going to have to. Yeah, it's really cute. The back is pretty much okay. I don't think it looks bad at all. So I really like how this came out. It's just a little keychain. I think that's really cute. So this one's definitely come out how I want it to. I just need to replicate that a few times. I've got my sticker products, which I still need to print and cut out a bunch of those. I may or may not be avoiding it because I do not want to mess with the sticker cutter. But I've got my stickers, I've got these keychains and these keychains that I'm making. Also, yesterday I cut out a bunch of hearts from clay because the idea is I've got these backing pins. I'm going to make some pins. I'm going to make some heart-shaped pins out of the air dry clay, and I'm going to paint each one of them with different I'm going to paint each of them with different I'm going to paint let me start again. I'm going to paint each of them different pride flag colours. So they're not fully dry yet, but these are the little hearts. So that's where I am at. There is a little donut jewellery tray, I want to call it. I probably need to come up with names for these things or whatever. But there's this little donut jewellery tray thing that I made my partner for Valentine's Day. Yeah, Valentine's Day. As we agreed this year that we were going to make stuff for each other, and we made like a bunch of stuff and exchanged it. It was so cute. But I made this donut tray for her, and she thinks it's really cute. I think it's really cute. So I'm going to make a bunch of those as well as another bigger item to sell. It's only about that big. That big. I've only got a few weeks. I don't even think it's a few weeks. Like 2.5 weeks to do this in. I can do it. I'm back in the office. I ended up finishing off a resin, so one of the Monstera leaves. Here's the finished result. Ooh, I did it exactly how I did the other one that I did yesterday. I think I did it yesterday. I don't know. My brain's not working right now. But the one I did before, I did it exactly the same and it has come out relatively exactly the same. So I know that if I just follow what I did before, I will be able to reproduce basically the same product over and over again. So I'm very happy with that. And then I did open up the vlog. I didn't have a lot of time. It's a long vlog, so I couldn't watch it all the way through, but I did edit the beginning of the vlog, just adding the text overlay to say that it's the vlog and some music at the beginning. And that's all I really had time for. But I am so close to being finished with it. And then I can upload it and then I can stop thinking about it. And then hopefully this one will be much shorter to edit and I won't be as stressed about it because it's actually quite fun and I don't want to be stressed. It was just a lot of footage in the last one. But yes, we're back now from picking up my daughter at school, dropping her at her dad's. Tony's just walked in. I'll turn it off, yeah? Now I've got a thing because I didn't dropping. I meant picking up. Did I say picking up? Picked Izzy up from school, dropped her off at her dad's because she's at her dad's tonight. Baby! Got too many nipples? Nibbles! So what I realised was this morning I spoke to you about the business. I spoke to you about the partner's business, but I didn't want to mention what the businesses were. Well, obviously I've mentioned what we do in the businesses, but the names of the businesses. So anybody who watches this, if they decide to watch this, they just know we do a business but don't know what it's called and will never be able to find it. So I thought I'd quickly talk about what the businesses are. So my business, where I make stickers and other handmade items, is called Queered. And there's a sign here that my baby made for me. But yes, the business is called Queered. It did have another name to start. It was Onyx Illustrations. Onyx is a name that I've always wanted to have for myself. So I thought, why not call the business that? But then I don't really like Onyx Illustrations. It feels too long and I just don't really like it. So it is too much in your mouth. You're right. So I changed it to Queered and I did like a whole big rebrand. I suppose I did a lot of research and basically just redid the whole thing. So now it's Queered. This is the logo. Here's the QR code. I made a QR code. Here's the QR code if you want to scan it and go to my Etsy shop. I'll also put links in the description that you can go and see it. Yes? What? What? What?
My glasses. So I couldn't find my glasses yesterday, right?
Yeah.
I had to take spare ones from upstairs. They're my spare ones.
Yeah.
Last night.
They're right there.
They're right there.
So if you want to check out my shop, you can. I'm basically always adding new things. At the moment, I don't really do launches where I launch like a bunch of things at once. I kind of just am adding as I go. But after this market, whatever's left over, I'm going to be putting onto the shop on Etsy. So anything that I don't sell, you'll be able to find there. So after is it the 7th?
Yeah. I have a question.
Hmm?
Water then juice or juice then water?
Juice and water.
Juice then water.
Because it mixes it as you pour it in.
Yeah.
So after the 7th, so after the market that's on the 7th, I'm trying to keep my thoughts straight, babe. No, it's okay. It's entertaining when you interrupt me. The market's on the 7th. After the 7th, there'll be any product that's left over will be up on the shop. So if you want to grab something, that will be the best time. I just realised I don't think I'm in focus because I tried to focus it on the other thing. And now I'm not in focus. If I'm not in focus, I'm not in focus. And that is the same for Tony's business. So she does acrylic art pours. She's got a lot of wall art, coasters, bookmarks, and she's also looking into making some other products. So those will be available soon. Oh, an example. Thank you, assistant. An example of a pour that she has done. They are bloody stunning. Thank you. Clap. It is. I love them. I'm obsessed. There are like multiple ones that she's done, and I'm like, you're not selling that. I want it. Yes, so she's very talented. She's got great art pieces, and her business's name is Drip and Drizzle. And here's the logo. Here's the QR code. Have I made you a QR code yet? I shall make a QR code. If I've made it, it's here. If not, then I'll show it in another video. And I will link the website for the Etsy shop below, because she also has an Etsy store. But again, anything that she doesn't sell at the market, she'll be putting onto her Etsy store. So you'll be able to grab that. I will be doing a vlog at the market, so you'll be able to see all of the stuff set up. And like I said, it's our first market, so yeah, we'll be doing our best, but we don't fully know what we're doing, so it is what it is. Am I missing anything that I was supposed to say? So if you are interested in small business stuff, I will be including them in a lot of my vlogs because it's my job. You will see a lot of behind the scenes of the business vlogs, because I can't talk right now, babe. I keep messing up what I'm saying. No, it's not even you. It's just me. It's my brain. So if you're interested in seeing behind the small business, it will be in the vlogs. Just watch the vlogs. That's what I'm trying to say. I give up. I'm back in the office. I didn't film yesterday because I went to my daughter's school. It was parents can come in and have lunch with their child. So I did that yesterday. It took up a lot of my day. Where did I leave the vlog? So not last night, but the night before, which is the night of the day that I last vlogged. Yeah. I ended up staying up quite late, just making stuff. So I thought I'd show you what I made. Made 3 more glittery Monstera leaves, and I need to get some more glitter for those because I only have like the tiniest amount of glitter left, the green glitter, and I kind of only want to do the Monsteras in green. I don't think it makes sense if they're not, because Monstera leaves are green. I mean, some of them have white in them, but mostly green. And I also made these cute, so I made 2 of these little, I don't know if it's going to focus. Anyways, why was I sweating while trying to do that? Probably because it's boiling. I might open a window. So I don't know if you saw that, but it is a cute little frame, and then I've put some dried flowers in it and then some resin over the top. But the colours of this one are the trans flag, because it's a pride market that we're doing. So I'm going to do a lot of themed stuff to do with pride and all of that. And the second one I made is this one, which I think is quite cute. I honestly don't know if you can see them, but this as well has some leaves in it, some dried flowers, and then some resin on top. Yeah, I think these are really cute. I don't know if the background flowers are orange or not. If they are, then there's me in colours, but I'm not sure. But it's cute anyway. I don't know if I spoke about when I cut out some clay hearts. But the other day I cut out some clay hearts. I filmed it for Instagram. I'm just sort of setting up my Instagram account, and I've only really got pack with me videos on there. So I did this of me cutting out clay hearts, and it's more popular than any other video that I've done. So I think people might like to see you making the stuff rather than once it's sold. I'm not going to stop doing the pack with me videos, but yeah, maybe a bit more of the process. I just don't know how much you should really share of your process. I don't know if it matters. I don't know if there's some unspoken rule in the small business YouTube community, I can't speak, community, that there's certain things you just don't share to like protect yourself or your business or whatever. I don't know. I might film myself painting the clay hearts for Instagram, maybe for here. I don't know. We'll see how I feel in the moment. My alarm went off telling me it's nearly time to go. I've got to go get my daughter from school. But I've been mainly working on editing the last vlog. It's been a bit difficult. I've filmed way too much stuff. It was the first vlog. I was kind of getting a feel for how much I should be filming, how long it takes to edit and stuff like that. And I definitely filmed too much. It was over 3 hours worth of footage. So it was a bit crazy. And then I had to fix the audio because the natural audio from the microphones isn't fantastic. And the closer we get, the more it sounds blown out. It's taken a while, but this vlog, hopefully, shouldn't take as long because I'm being a bit more strict on how much I film. And that video is currently exporting, but I don't know if it will be exported by the time I've got to leave. I'm fingers crossing it, but we'll see. And then last night I ended up making how many things did I make? 2 things. I made 2 things. I made another one of these with the dried flowers, which is cute, pink and blue. And then I made this. Now the top still needs to be sanded down because it came out a little bit, but we got a little, I'm so shaky, a glittery moon. So I used white glitter for that, and I think it's actually really cute. But this is the only moon frame that I've got, so I'm thinking I might have to order some more because I actually really like this. I'm just kind of making stuff and seeing if I like it in the end and then going with that, because I made a couple that I really don't like. So I made these pink glitter on one side and orange glitter on the other, but you can't see the orange glitter. I think it's overpowered by the pink. So I don't really like it. It's supposed to be lesbian colours, but it just has not come out the way I want it to. So those are scrap. I made 2 of those, but I'm not using them. So it's all trial and error, but I'm getting there. And then today, I didn't have to take Izzy to school today, which is nice. So I ended up having a slight lie-in, and then I've been finishing off the video that's, like I said, exporting now. And then while that was, I was listening through it one last time to make sure the audio was fine. There were some silent bits that had like this demon voice over it. Like there was no noise in the video at all, but once I enhanced the audio, there was some weird demon voice. So I got rid of some of them, but towards the end I lost concentration. So maybe the end of the last video sounds a bit weird. So while that was playing, I was doing some drawing on the tablet because I've got to design some new stickers, because half of my stickers are 18 plus stickers from when I used to work in the sex shop. And that's another story for another day. Because this is a family friendly market, I obviously can't do the 18 plus stuff. So I was like, oh my God, design some new stickers just so I've got enough. Just so I've got enough, basically. Yeah, so I did a design of a monstera leaf. I'm just really into plants at the moment. So I made the decision. I've got to hurry up because I've got to go. Wait, what's the time? Okay, no, I'm fine. So I made the decision extremely recently, probably a couple of days ago. I made the decision of where I want the business to go, what I want to create for the business. And I've said that this market's been really good for both of us because it's really pushed us to get to a place where we've got products and stuff that are how we want them to be, and basically build how many products we've got in a really short amount of time. But I made the decision that I was going to just focus on things that bring me joy. It makes the most sense, because if I'm focusing on things that I'm worried about, what's popular at the moment, what's trending, what are other people into, what will they buy, then I'm constantly going to be looking outside and drawing stuff that I don't really connect with just to make sales. And I don't like that idea. So I thought there's got to be people out there who have the same interests as me. The interests sort of connect in a way. And there's got to be at least one person who has all of those interests, and at least a bunch of people who have some of those interests as well. So why not just focus on things that I love, that I'm interested in, that I want to see in the world, and then fingers crossed find the people who like that stuff. And one of the things I'm into is gardening, propagating plants, and I just got a monstera plant, and I'm going to get a monstera tattoo as well as my first tattoo. That's all booked in. I'm really excited about that. I'm really nervous, but I'm really excited. I'm also into photography. I had a photography business back in the day. I say back in the day, I mean, Yeah, I suppose it is. My early 20s. Well, before that, actually. I'm into painting. I'm an artist. I paint with acrylics. So, painting stuff, arts and crafts in general. Like, there's so many things that I'm into that I can pull inspiration from. I will have an endless amount of things that I can make. Whereas if I'm looking to other people and their interests, it's gonna be a lot more difficult for me to just keep coming up with things. So that was my decision. Hence the reason why I am now making the Monstera leaf key rings. Because it's something that I would like, something that I would buy. And who doesn't like sparkly things? I wrote a list yesterday of all of the things that we need to get done for the market, because it was like there was a list in my head but just like floating around my head, and I thought, let's get it all down so that I can see everything that needs to be done. There is a lot that needs to be done, but I do think it's possible, especially with how I'm feeling at the moment. The deadline of the market has given me such a sense of urgency, and I believe that's to do with my ADHD, but like I'm now on it. I also have a plan to make some of these. I'm going to make them a little bit different because this was sort of an experiment, also a gift for my partner. But I made this, I think, for Valentine's Day. And it's a little donut dish. I wrote this on the back: donut, lose your rings, because she's always losing her rings. That's why I made this. But I thought it was really cute. I'll change probably the colours of the actual donut and stuff. But I'm thinking of making a bunch of these to sell. But yeah, I think that's all I have to update you on at the moment. All the other stuff I will probably show you as I go along. I don't need to sit here and explain the whole list of Esky. I don't need to sit here and explain my whole to-do list to you because you will see it unfold. I have to leave in about 10 minutes. So I'm going to finish up getting myself ready, check on the vlog. The laptop's over there because I don't have space on the table because I've left everything out that I'm doing, because if I put it away, I'm not going to pick it up again. So I'm leaving it all out so that when I sit down, I'm like, yes, I'll do this. So I've just got to go check to see if it has actually exported or not. And then I will head out.